always striving? In the constant chase for success, when was the last time you took a moment just for you? We're always on the go, rushing from one task to the next, barely pausing to catch our breath. What if we took a moment to pause? Imagine listening in, really listening, to the wind, to your heartbeat, to your soul. What if slowing down was the key, a chance to discover a deeper connection with yourself? And from that connection expand it to those you love, to the moments that truly matter. Pause, reflect, connect. It's time to live fully from the inside out. I think we're coming on. Good morning, everybody. Okay, I'm just making sure we're in the right spot. For some reason, this doesn't look right. Hold on. There we go. Okay, this is why it's fun to go live, everyone. Good morning. I'm Josette Diaz, and I am a self-awareness coach for women in midlife. And welcome to A Soulful Pause. Yeah, here we are, 2025. We all made it. So today, what I wanted to talk to you about is intention. Because here we are, it's January 2nd, 2025, and we're heading into a whole new year, which is very exciting. And it always gives us moment to pause, right? Like leading up to January 2nd or January to the 1st, right? To New Year, we always start to think about how the year went. What is it that we want, right? And some of us set intentions. We have intentions either through giving ourselves a word for the year that we want to have guide us. Sometimes we set up those intentions through a practice. And so today, because it seems so fitting, and in the Art of Awareness, which is a membership that I run for women, we are going to be studying intention this month. And so it just seems so fitting to talk about it because we're all in that same place. And so let's just kind of talk about what this means. So we all have moments where we start to feel really scattered, right? Life can feel scattered. And there's just so many things that happen in our life that kind of can take us off track, or, you know, we start to think about 10 million things. Like just now, I see something's not quite right. So I'm fixing that at the same time I'm talking to you. And it can feel in my body and in my mind a little scattered, even though I know I have, control over what I'm doing and what's happening. It still in my head can feel like a little bit like, okay, I'm scrambling. And so I know you all feel that same way during different moments of your life, and especially when you have a lot going on. And so, how do we get to that place where we can truly aim for, at the end of the day, feeling accomplished and that we were able to stay focused? Well, it's setting our intention. And that's why the power of intention is so important. So, there's several things that kind of equate to importance in my mind and the way I see it, and how I know what works for myself and what works for the women that I work with. is having intention around what you're focused on and gratitude. Today, we're going to talk about the intention piece of it. So, why is setting intentions so important? It's not a feel good concept, right? It's not about, oh, I'm going to set an intention and great, that feels really good. And then you just go about your day and you kind of forget about it. It's really a powerful tool to help you create clarity and focus and feel successful in your day. And it's not just, it's actual results that help you feel successful in your everyday life. And so I've got 3 simple steps to help you with this, to have a consistent practice of setting intention, being intentional in your life. Because let's face it, when we don't give ourselves intention, it allows our mind to come in and take over. And what do I mean by that? I want to just explain this in case it sounds like it's a concept and not, you don't know how to relate it to what happens in your own world. So, when we have no intention or we set an intention and then we just kind of go about our day and the day takes over, that's allowing our minds to operate everything that we do. And if we are focused on a particular outcome that we want for the day, and we keep that intention and we use our mind to remain with the intention in the forefront. So you might get lost occasionally because it's very easy to do that in the world. And you might get distracted by whatever's coming up and showing up in your space in that moment. It's up to you in here, in the internal place of your own rhythm, that will drive that intention and override what your mind is saying is important. And so, this is what I wanted to talk to you about, because the power of intention allows your inner your inner focus to remain centered on what you set your intention for. Does this make sense? I hope it does. So, if you have questions about this, of course, you can always put comments and I'll get back to you. And so, the important piece in this is to understand that when you are setting these intentions for your day, to remind yourself to stay heart centered as you move through your day. So that means staying connected to what it is that you set the intention for, what's driving that intention, and is it um, is it staying with you? And so every time you start to get distracted, you then bring yourself back. And you can do that so easily by just sitting in your heart. So, um, intention is not just about setting the goals, right? The goals are the what. The intention is the how, and it's the energy and focus and presence that you bring to your actions. So when you set an intention, you're not just reacting to life, you're choosing how you want to show up, right? So if my intention carries me throughout my day and I'm staying connected to it, I am staying connected to how I want to show up in the world in everything that I do. I speak often about being in your excellence, which sounds to some people like I'm saying be in your perfection. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is your excellence can look like anything throughout the day. Your excellence can sometimes look messy. That's your excellence in the moment. So remaining focused on that intention helps you to show up the way that you want to each day in your excellence. Does that make sense? So that means sometimes you slip. The excellence provides you with the grace because it's in the moment. So, um, what you choose to set the tone for your experiences and your relationships are going to be the results that you get. So, why does it work? Intentional aligns your mindset and your emotions. So, that's what the intention provides you. It brings in the mindset and the emotions around the intention, and it keeps you present and focused throughout your day. So it acts as a compass and it guides you when you feel distracted. And so this is where you notice when you have distraction, that's your cue that your mind has taken over and the true you connected within yourself is kind of dormant because the mind has taken over. So it's taking over the thoughts. It's overriding the intention. So think of intention like setting your GPS for the day. Okay, so it's a good way to think about it. Without it, you might still arrive somewhere, but with it, you're heading exactly where you want to go. So you're going to have different results at the end of the day if you stay engaged with your intention. So now, here are three simple steps to create an intention practice because we can talk about it all day long. How do you do it? How do you put it into action? So, you want to first pause and reflect. Before your day begins, or even right now, if you like, take a moment. Let's just take in a deep breath. So you bring that breath in through the nose and imagine the breath moving down the back of your spine to the base of your spine. Hold it there for a moment and then release the breath. So let's do that together. Hold and release. Okay. So now ask yourself, how do I want to feel today? What energy do I want to bring into my day? And this isn't about tasks. It's not about your to-do list. Ask your doer to step aside for a moment here. And it's about how you want to show up. How do you want to present yourself throughout the day? That's a really good and important step, number one. Okay, so the first one is to pause, reflect, take in that breath. Don't forget, bring the breath in through the nose, just slowly, and imagine it moving down the back of your spine to the base of your spine and hold it there for a moment. And then release the breath out through your mouth. It's a really great way to start to feel centered. So then the second step, step two, is to choose one clear intention and keep it simple because you don't want it complicated. The simpler it is, the better because you'll remember it easier. So let's just use this as an example. I intend to approach today with patience and grace. Or you could say something like, I intend to stay focused and grounded in my work. Depends on what you have going on, right? So you can give it that doing focus. Yet, do you notice in the sentence here, we're talking about you intend to stay focused and grounded. So that means you are present, very present. So you can use one of the, any example, but keep it simple, something that you'll be able to remind yourself of and stay focused on. And then the third step, number three, is to remind yourself. So write it down. Sometimes you can put a reminder on your phone. You can say it out loud when you are, drinking your coffee in the morning or, you're drinking your water throughout the day. Just remind yourself. And I sometimes will put a sticky note on my desk and keep it there because I'll notice it throughout the day and remind myself and bring myself back to center. So reminding yourself is important. You can also put alarms on your phone. That's something that I've done before as well, and it helps to remind me that, "Oh, yeah, come back over here." So, now why intention sets you up for success? Let's talk about that for a moment. So, we have our 3 steps, right? The first is to pause and reflect. The second is to choose one clear intention, keep it simple, make it one sentence. And then the third is to remind yourself, either by putting an alarm or getting into a simple habit of doing it every time you take a drink of your water or your tea throughout the day or your coffee. And then also, you let that intention just anchor you throughout the day. I like sticky notes. So, whatever works for you, those are your 3 steps to setting the intention. Now, so why does intention set you up for success? Well, when you move through your day with intention, you're no longer at the mercy of external circumstances, like we talked about in the beginning. Your mind is going to want to distract you and to take you off course and keep you in. If you notice and you really slow down and pay attention to what your mind likes to think about a lot, is usually past thoughts. And so you want to use the intention to create a sense of purpose and resilience and clarity. And so that's what intention will do for you. The challenges are still going to come up. You're still going to have those little distractions, right? It's your intention, though, that becomes the foundation to help you respond instead of react. So, this is part of what is in the formula of creating success through intention. So, then the thought to carry with you on a daily basis is every small moment is an opportunity to realign with your intention. And it's not about being perfect, like we talked about, your excellence. Being in your excellence is not about perfection, it's excellence in every moment. The intention sets you up to have the mindset that you're choosing for the day that is attached to possibly some action. And sometimes it's not attached to action, it's attached to a way of being, a state, a way to move throughout your day. And this is all about keeping yourself present. Your intention allows you to remain present in the moment. It's a reminder of, what am I doing now? Is this aligned with what I set my tone for the day with my intention? And so it keeps you constantly reminding yourself to come back to the present moment, come back to the present moment. And so this is what I wanted to share with you today and to invite you in to thinking about more clearly when we speak about intention. We hear set your intention a lot in so many different arenas of our life, right? In our workspace, in our private lives, in our relationships. And even in our tasks, well, what's your intention by doing, setting this goal? So, intention is a word that we might get used to and don't really think about what it means and what it can carry forth for us, what it actually is providing in our world. And so, intention is giving you the opportunity to stay present. It's a path to your presence and staying in the now. And so think about how you're setting up your day with intention and present and being present, because that intention is going to carry you forward. And as we mentioned, at the end of the day, when sit down after you've had your dinner and you're just like, we all kind of do a small inventory. You might not even be aware that you do this inventory, but if you slow down and think about it for a moment, that inventory plays in your mind. And wouldn't it be wonderful to know that at the end of the day, whether you completed all of your to do list or not, that you stayed with your intention throughout your day, because at the end of the day, the presence that you had and the feeling that you started your day with, you ended your day with. So when you can remain in that state of the intention you set, regardless of whether you hit all the markers, you're still going to have that sense of accomplishment and feeling connected to yourself because you remained in your intention. That's successful. And depending on how you describe success to yourself, maybe that's something you can add or really consider as part of your success, is that regardless of whether you get all the things done, if you can end your day with the sensation of feeling that you stayed focused on what you intended all day long, that becomes part of how you feel successful. That's more of a heart connection to yourself. That's staying in touch with that inner part of you that is your truest self, that we all, I think most of us, feel a calling to be attached to align with more, to bring into our world, and I'm going to use the word embody, and allow that true part of yourself to be the biggest part of your personality that's presented in the world. But we'll talk about all that more later because that makes me want to tell you even more things. And I'm not going to right now because we could be here all day. So I wanted to share all of this with you as a way to get your year started. So remind yourself of 3 simple steps: to pause and reflect, to choose an intention by making it simple, one sentence, and then give yourself anchors to remind yourself of the intention throughout the day. So that looks like a post it note, a reminder on your phone, a practice that is easy for you to adapt to or bring into your world. So that's how we're going to create our intentions on a daily basis and keep ourselves focused and centered and feeling successful by the end of the day. So I hope that you enjoyed that. Now, I would like to remind all of you that I do have a beautiful community called the Art of Awareness, and it's a membership for women. And this is our topic for the month. We're going to be diving into this in our art circles and in our creative circle, where I do a mini class, a mini master class. And then we have plenty of time to engage in conversation around what the members learn and what it brings up for them. And we get to have further conversation around that. So it's a really engaging membership that gives women time to have these inner introspections and bring out their own revelations. And we do that through art, we do that through journaling, and we do that through witnessing and really having a connection. And this is creating such a beautiful space and sanctuary for women to come. So if that interests you, um, you might want to check out my bio because I have links in there. And I will be back with you next week. I have a beautiful guest coming. Her name is Jennifer Regular, and I am so excited. I'm not going to tell you anything else. You're going to have to come and stay tuned because you're not going to want to miss this. She is phenomenal, and she works with leaders and guides them along a path. And I want to make sure that she has the opportunity to speak for herself on this. And so very excited to have her on. So come back live for a Soulful Pause next week. We are here on Thursdays at 9 a.m. Pacific. And if you're interested in the art of awareness, then go to my bio and check it out. So I look forward to seeing you next week. And thank you so much. And Happy New Year to everyone. and set your intentions. It's 3 easy steps, and I look forward to spending more time with you next week.